From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Love. And he's got his man on the out route. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On 1st down, it's Bird. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl. Watch the edge. Hey, Ripley.
He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1st down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 48-yard line.
You got tight right there. Under 10, under 10.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up. 25, check 25, check 25. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Here, 15.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Mahomes going to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 27-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the field goal that cuts the lead in half as they, too, are able to get some points on their initial drive of the game.
Yeah, all in all, a pretty positive response, right, to the points that were scored against them. And they got a little help from their opponent anyway. Missed the conversion, so now they're just 3 back.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns' drive about to get started. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. And they'll try the jet sweep here. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Crawford. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. .6-3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least some. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yard.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On second down now, it's Crawford. And an alley to run. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. And he'll get this all the way down to the Chiefs' 32-yard line. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut, as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
Flushed out right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll try the left side. Crawford. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
First down, Cleveland. Ready up. 44, come on. Check.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On third down, Bird. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Throwing on first down. Love. He rifles one that's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Yellow, YAE, check 56. Watch the back,
On first down, Drake. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's just me.
On second down, it's Bird. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Looking to throw. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd and 10, Mahomes is going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Mahomes now on 1st down. Open man is Hill. He's got it. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Switch. Do
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Browns drive about to get started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this 2nd half. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the 1st half.
We'll see if they do just that. On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Let's go, D.
Throwing now is Mahomes. And this one's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down now, it's Bird. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We're beginning to turn you up.
They go play fake. Mahomes gets this one to Hill. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. They'll run on 1st down. Drake, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. And to give this time to the tailback. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. He's got Burton here. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the 1st. Mahomes now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 12-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Keep in mind they can still get a 1st down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. They'll try the left side. Bird, and he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started, and their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be
Looking to throw on second down. Love throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Come get some.
The pressure drops off as they look to throw. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Yellow. 180.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by Denzel Ward. There he goes, right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Now the extra point. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good.
Makes the score Chiefs 16, Browns 13.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10. At their own.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A first down run not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Bird. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he will be taken down, but not before he gets this to the Browns' 19-yard line.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. To throw, it's Mahomes. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. On second down, it's Bird. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs on third down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Mahomes. This one into the hands of Burton. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Butker now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Crawford, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
Now a handoff here to his running back. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. The Browns send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. That's taken on the 25. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. On 1st down, it's Bird. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Fire down these two. Fire down these two. You better bring it.
Mahomes looks to throw on third down. It's Hill, complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run on first down. Bird. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On second down now, it's Bird, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A big play that time for Cleveland. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Off the play fake. Love. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Give them 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. The job one to pick up the first down is complete. That was a big third-down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be up. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game. And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. On third down, Bird. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 18. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw forward.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now?
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 47. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills, and that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills, but they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. Now Drake. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Drake. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2nd and 12, and you have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. And to give this time to the tailback. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Yellow, I go lady. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Chiefs, They continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.